Hello, today we're going to be taking a look at a couple of small classic space sets. For those who don't already know, last year I made a retrospective series where I reviewed every set from 1979 to 1982. I think some of those videos have aged quite poorly, so I'll remake them eventually, but before we do that, I wanted to share my opinions on some other classic space sets that I have in my collection. The first set that I would like to share with you today is set 6827 Strata Scooter from 1987. This was actually my first blue astronaut, and fortunately for me, he looks amazing. Look at that beautiful torso print, it looks brand new. Anyways, we also get a small white vehicle. This is a bit of a weird looking vehicle, but it forces us to think of a good use for these movable arms and wings. Or actually, are these wings or blasters or something else? I don't really know, but these movable arms at the front remind me of the mineral detector. I could see this vehicle scanning the ground or a rock surface to find some hidden gems, and if it needs to traverse a rocky terrain to reach those gems, well, it has the ground clearance to do so. At the back of the Strata Scooter, there's a powerful engine that could make this vehicle reach some incredible speeds on the drag strip. Overall, this set is pretty cool, so let's move on to 6805 Astro Dasher from 1985. And I don't know what this is. It doesn't feel like an industrial vehicle or an exploration vehicle, it almost feels like a small fighter plane or something. I know that might sound weird, but there's a massive blaster at the front. Also, these small wings could be used for precise maneuvering in small places. In other words, this vehicle seems perfect to chase Blacktron in a canyon run. This set is a bit strange, but I do like it quite a bit. Anyways, let's move on to the next one, which is 6826 Crater Crawler from 1985. This small vehicle probably looks a bit boring to some of you, but I disagree. Once again, I like to think of this vehicle as an exploration vehicle. The large wheels make the Crater Crawler capable of traversing any terrain, and this blaster at the front could also be used to break rocks that get in the way. Actually, this feels like a very powerful laser cannon. It would be a shame if some bad guys got their hands on it, but that's not going to happen because the Crater Crawler comes with an ejector seat. Yeah, an ejector seat. So once the driver is out of danger, he can simply blow up his vehicle and make sure nobody gets their hands on the crazy technology. Meanwhile, he can use his little flying ejector seat to go skateboarding. This is perfect. Honestly, this set is awesome, especially for the small classic space sets. I love this set. Let's move on to our second to last set for today, which is this road plate set. Technically, this set was actually featured in my videos last year, but I didn't review it. This circle plate was featured in the Galaxy Explorer set, but this intersection plate was only ever seen in the weird Dacta space set and the road plate set. These road plates are really cool, and you should absolutely get your hands on them if you want to make a space layout. By the way, here's what that looks like in my own layout. Really cool stuff. Yeah. And finally, there's another very strange set that I have, and it's this minifig pack. I've had this minifig pack my entire life, and for the longest time, this was my only yellow astronaut. You might think, yeah, so what, it's just a yellow astronaut like any other. But this one has an earlier version of the air tanks in a lighter shade of yellow. It seems to be a different type of plastic, but I'm not exactly sure. Otherwise, this minifig pack is not that interesting, but it was useful if you wanted to build up your astronaut collection at the time. Anyways, those were my extra classic space sets that I didn't review yet. If any of you have a specific set that you would want me to cover again in a longer video, feel free to write it down in the comments. I would love to revisit some of my classic space sets in the near future. But otherwise, that's gonna be it for today, and thanks for watching.